What's going on, viewers? This is Lazarus, back again with another challenge. In this video, I'm going to see if I could beat the Dead Space Remake in the worst way possible. And what could that be, you might ask? Well, my very first playthrough will be on Impossible mode, where if you die, you have to start all the way over back at the beginning of the game. Also, just to add to that, I will be using just the plasma cutter.
But wait, there's more!
I would also be going through this game bare bones, which means I will not be upgrading my armor, nor my plasma cutter. And I know what you're thinking. Well, how the f do you pull that off? Don't worry, I will be explaining my strategies and my approach for every chapter in the game. This run will also be split into 3 parts, with each covering 4 chapters per video. So in this video, I will be covering chapters 1 through 4. So hit that sub button and the bell icon so you can be notified when the next videos are up. Alright, with that out of the way, get ready ladies and gentlemen, because it's showtime.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
New arrivals. Starting off, I needed to come up with a plan. For inventory management, since I will not be upgrading anything, including my suit, I thought it would be best to stick to the rules of 3. Which means, in between stores, I will only carry 3 stasis packs, 3 health packs, and 3 slots for ammo, and the last 2 slots will be for valuable loot and extra supplies. Now, if this remake bared any resemblance to the original, then my strategy for 1v1 fights would be to cut off their legs and follow up with a head stomp. When I finally acquired a stasis, I mainly only tried to use it when I needed to, like in group fights or when enemies get too close. But I have to be careful because the effects don't last too long. I also run a risk of boxing myself in when large group of enemies are surrounding me while they are stasised. Since the plasma cutter is my only weapon, I needed to take advantage of the environment to conserve ammo. As long as I was quick and aware of my surroundings, this chapter could be completed in no time. Chapter 2, Intensive Care. In Chapter 2, I finally acquired the telekinesis, which means I can rely less on my ammunition now. Luckily, there's not too many enemies to fight in the beginning of this chapter.
Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Shit, I forgot about this part. The strategy here was to always be on the move and cripple any necromorphs that come my way. Now, this wasn't a foolproof strategy. There were some close calls, maybe a little too close for my comfort. But as long as I didn't panic or get cocky, I would soon whittle down their numbers and finish the last one off with a head stomp.
Quarantine lifted.
After the lockdown lifted, I quickly searched the room for any supplies I can use and realized that it's the year 2023 and we still don't have working mirrors in video games yet. I carried on to the next area. Now this game introduces me to a new enemy type, the crawler. These little guys would be my main focus in any group fights because they can easily whittle down your health with their range attacks if you're not paying attention. After I killed the crawler, I took a break and stopped to appreciate the environment for a bit. The amount of details in this game are astonishing. And I could not believe what I was looking at. Wait, what was I doing again? I quickly pulled myself back together, and I grabbed what I needed. After that, I headed back to the barricade so I could destroy it. This next room could have been a death trap for me if I wasn't careful. Enemies would ambush me as soon as I removed the battery from its socket. And fighting these creatures in the dark would be a big no-no. So I temporarily returned the battery, only so I could turn the lights back on. Now, I can finally see.
I can see!
I can fight!
The enemies weren't that bad, as long as I kept my distance. And once the enemies were gone, I opened the door and I made sure it was safe to proceed. Even though it was Chapter 2, I didn't want to develop any reckless habits throughout this run. Now, it was time to take on the Infectors. Aside from the crawlers, these guys would be my #1 priority and always will be throughout the run. Once I took down the captain and the infector, I grabbed what I needed and made my way back to the cargo area. And with that, Chapter 2 was completed. Chapter 3, Course Correction. I made it to Chapter 3, and at this point, I still haven't upgraded anything, and here's some proof of that. The beginning part of this chapter wasn't too bad, as long as I took things slow. Plus, the enemy placements were almost exactly the same as the original, so I kinda knew what to expect. The only parts that really made me sweat was the centrifuge room, which is something that can easily kill my run if I was not careful. And that damn tentacle that grabs you right after you exit that room. Since my plasma cutter was very weak, I had to make sure every shot counted, or else it would be game over. The engine room wasn't too bad, only because I took advantage of the overabundance of propane tanks stored in our room. Once the fight was over, I turned on the engines and returned back to the tram station. Then, I was rewarded with an achievement for beating Chapter 3. Chapter 4, Obliteration Imminent. It was now time to head to the bridge to face off with the big man himself, the Brute. This fight would have been tough if I didn't have any stasis on me, but luckily I did. I slowed him down so I have a chance to run behind him and cut off his legs. Once his leg was gone, I would then grab the projectiles he shoots at me so I could throw it back at him for massive damage. After that, I got another achievement for killing the Brute. I continued on through the ship and encountered 2 enhanced necromorphs. I thought they would have been more of a threat to me, but no. Once I killed one, the other one would hilariously end up killing itself on the electrical floor. Afterwards, I scanned the room for any more necromorphs, and what I found was disturbing. There were 2 crawlers staring at me, but for some reason, they weren't much of a threat to me. I thought about killing them for a chance to get more ammo, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Besides, look how adorable they look. I thought to myself, maybe this could be a start to something beautiful. No. Sorry, little guys. But I must go. I enjoyed our moment together, but it's time to say goodbye. So goodbye, Laz Jr. and Lazette. After wiping my tears, I pressed on through the ship, and I used any level hazards to my advantage to conserve ammo. I finally made it to the turret section of the game, and I could not believe what was behind this door. There was a huge improvement, matter of fact, an overhaul to this part of the game. I couldn't believe it. It was beautiful. Anyway, I calibrated my first turret, but then realized I was running out of air. No problem. I'll just head back to the door. It's locked. The door is locked. Okay. There's obviously an oxygen station somewhere. Anywhere. Somewhere. This was not good. I'm panicking. Panic. Panicking. Whew. Luckily, I managed to find an oxygen station with less than 10 seconds to spare. I calibrated the last 2 turrets. Then, I was rewarded with an achievement for beating Chapter 4. And with that, this will conclude part 1. So we are now 4 chapters down and 8 more to go. So stay tuned for more parts, because things will only get worse from here. And with that, my friends, this is Lazarus, signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, baby, I'm yours. 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 I thought